Our Lady of Fatima. Welcome to Echoes of Fatima, a podcast exploring one of the most profound spiritual events of the 20th century. In 1917, amidst the turmoil of World War I, a series of extraordinary encounters unfolded in a small, rural Portuguese village, forever changing the lives of 3 young children and, eventually, the world. Join us as we journey back in time to the dusty fields of Fatima, where heaven touched earth. The first encounter, May 13th, 1917. Our story begins on a bright, spring day, May 13th, 1917. The air in the Cova da Iria, a small hollow near the village of Fatima, was alive with the gentle sounds of sheep bells. 10-year-old Lucia dos Santos and her younger cousins, Francisco and Jacinta Marto, were tending their flock. Suddenly, a blinding flash of light, like lightning, struck without a cloud in the sky. Then, another, even brighter, erupted near a small holm oak tree. As the children cautiously approached the tree, they beheld an extraordinary sight: a radiant figure, a beautiful woman, bathed in ethereal light, suspended above the foliage. Her gown shimmered, and she held a rosary. Overwhelmed by a mixture of terror and profound awe, the children fell to their knees. The lady spoke, her voice clear and melodic, assuring them she came from heaven. She asked the children to return to that spot for 6 consecutive months, on the 13th day, at the same hour. She promised to reveal her identity and intentions then. Most importantly, she asked if they were willing to offer themselves to God to endure all the sufferings He might send, in an act of reparation for sins and a plea for the conversion of sinners. When Lucia answered yes, the lady warned they would have much to suffer, but assured them the grace of God would be their comfort. She then issued her first, crucial request: pray the rosary every day, to obtain peace for the world and the end of the war. As she spoke, rays of intense light streamed from her open hands, enveloping the children in an ineffable peace. The lady slowly ascended, fading until only a shimmering light remained. Following that initial breathtaking encounter in the Cova da Iria, the quiet routine of the Marto and dos Santos homes was irrevocably shattered. Despite Lucia's solemn warning to keep the vision a secret, the magnificence of the experience proved too much for 7-year-old Jacinta. Her joy and spiritual enthusiasm were simply too boundless to contain. That very first evening, the secret began to unravel. Lucia, typically a diligent girl, sat at her supper table in her family home, her mind still replaying the wondrous encounter. Her resulting silence was an immediate cause for concern for her mother, Maria Rosa. But before Lucia could compose herself, the eager excitement of her cousin burst forth, tearing the veil of secrecy. In the days that followed, the households became crucibles of internal conflict. The children held firm to their impossible story of a lady from heaven, while the adults, faced with local gossip and ridicule, desperately tried to restore order and normalcy. The Immaculate Heart, June 13, 1917. 1 month later, on June 13th, a small crowd of curious villagers had gathered at the Cova da Iria. The familiar flash of light appeared, and the Lady of Light materialized again, even more luminous. The lady asked the children to continue coming monthly and to pray the rosary every day. She then revealed the future of the 3 young visionaries. While she would cure one sick person Lucia asked about, she warned that Jacinta and Francisco would be taken to heaven soon. Lucia, however, was told she must remain on earth for some time because Jesus wished to use her to establish devotion to the lady's Immaculate Heart in the world. To comfort Lucia, the lady offered a profound promise: "My Immaculate Heart will be your refuge and the way that will lead you to God." As she spoke, she opened her hands, and the light streaming from them formed a vision of a human heart encircled by sharp thorns. This moving symbol represented the Immaculate Heart of Mary, wounded by the sins of humanity, and the devotion necessary for reparation. The Secret and the Vision of Hell, July 13, 1917. By July 13th, the crowds had significantly swelled, a testament to the growing excitement. The Lady of Light appeared again, reiterating the call to pray the rosary every day to obtain peace for the world and the end of the war. Lucia asked for a miracle so that everyone would believe, and the lady promised that in October, she would reveal her identity and perform a miracle so all may believe. She then called the children to sacrifice themselves for sinners and offered a short prayer to be said during these sacrifices. "O Jesus, it is for love of you, for the conversion of sinners, and in reparation for the sins committed against the Immaculate Heart of Mary." Following this, the lady revealed a terrifying vision of hell, showing the children where the souls of unrepentant sinners go. To save these souls, God wished to establish devotion to the Immaculate Heart in the world. The lady then delivered a prophetic message, the now famous Secret of Fatima. She foretold the imminent end of the current war, but warned that if humanity did not cease offending God, a worse war would erupt during the next pontificate, preceded by an unknown celestial light. To prevent this catastrophe, she said she would return to ask for the consecration of Russia to her Immaculate Heart and the communion of reparation on the first Saturdays. If her requests were heeded, Russia would be converted, and there would be peace. If not, Russia would spread her errors throughout the world, causing wars, persecutions of the Church, and the annihilation of nations. The message concluded with a hopeful promise: "In the end, my Immaculate Heart will triumph." The children were charged to keep this portion of the message confidential for the time being. Persecution and Perseverance, August and September 1917. The children faced persecution in August. On the 13th, the day of the scheduled apparition, the local administrator, an anti-cleric named Arturo Santos, abducted the children and imprisoned them in a cold, damp jail cell in Aurum to force them to reveal the secret. Despite his threats, the children remained steadfast, finding comfort only in praying the rosary together. Having been released, the children were tending sheep in a different pasture near Valinhos on August 19th when the lady appeared again. She reiterated the importance of continuing to come to the Cova de Iria and praying the rosary every day. She emphasized the need to make sacrifices for sinners, because many souls go to hell because there is no one to make sacrifices for them. By September 13th, the crowds had grown to thousands. The lady appeared once more, reiterating the need for the rosary to obtain the end of the war. She mentioned that in October, the Lord, Saint Joseph with the child Jesus, Our Lady of Sorrows, and Our Lady of Carmel would appear to bless the world. She also gave instructions for the construction of a chapel dedicated to Our Lady of the Rosary. As she departed, a shower of luminous, dissolving petals fell from the sky, visible to many in the crowd, fueling the anticipation for the promised miracle. The miracle of the Sunday, October 13th, 1917. The day of the final apparition, October 13th, 1917, was marked by torrential rain and a vast crowd, estimated at 70,000 people. Amidst the mud, skeptics, journalists, and fervent pilgrims waited in tense anticipation. As the children knelt, the lady appeared for the last time. She finally revealed her identity: "I am Our Lady of the Rosary." She again requested that a chapel be built in her honor and that the people continue always to pray the rosary every day. She predicted the current war would end soon, and she issued a final sober appeal to humanity: "Do not offend the Lord our God anymore, because he is already much offended." As she finished speaking, she opened her hands, and the light streaming from them focused on the sun. Lucia cried out for the crowd to look. The rain abruptly stopped, and the clouds parted, revealing the sun as an opaque, silver disk. It began to spin rapidly, casting brilliant, kaleidoscope colors across the landscape. Then, in a terrifying climax, the sun appeared to detach from the sky and hurtle toward the earth. Screams of fear and prayers of repentance erupted from the crowd. Just as panic reached its peak, the sun reversed its course, returning to its normal position. The phenomenon, known as the miracle of the sun, was witnessed by people miles away and attested to by skeptical journalists. Immediately following the event, the ground and the people's clothes, moments before drenched, were completely dry. While the crowd watched the sun, the children saw a series of beautiful tableaus in the sky. Saint Joseph with the child Jesus blessing the world, followed by the Lady of Sorrows and then Our Lady of Carmel. The Lady of Light, having delivered her messages and provided the promised sign, offered a final, soft farewell, adieu. She ascended slowly, disappearing into the clear blue sky. Francisco Marto and Jacinta Marto died from the Spanish flu within 3 years, just as the lady had foretold. Lucia dos Santos, who became Sister Lucia of Fatima, dedicated her long life to spreading the messages of peace, prayer, and penance until her death in 2005. The messages of Fatima, of prayer, penance, and the Immaculate Heart, remain a powerful spiritual call to the world.